Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. Tourism is the main economic engine of our municipality, and now that we begin to see the reactivation of the sector, public administration work together to develop common strategies for the recovery process.
Tourism State Secretary Fernando Valdés visited our municipality on Wednesday to meet with the Mayor Victor Navas, who received him at the town hall to talk about our main economic engine. Navas showed gratitude for this encounter and highlighted the importance of this meeting for Benalmádena, giving them the opportunity to discuss a wide range of issues.
Vamos a hablar de muchos asuntos.
At a time like the present, with a difficult context and full of uncertainties due to the pandemic, the presence today in Benalmádena of the Tourism State Secretary brings confidence when facing the summer season. We will essentially talk about tourism and a season in which we hope to return to growth and mark the beginning of the long-awaited economic and tourist recovery, but we will also discuss taxes, possible ways to help tourist municipalities, and also the problems we currently have with the Tivoli amusement park and the difficulties for it to open this summer. For his part, Valdés thanked Navas for the reception, explaining that the meeting will serve to talk about the current reality of the municipality, but also to lay the foundations of a strategy for the future. After these complicated months of managing the pandemic, we want to go through our main tourist destinations, betting on a solid and consolidated recovery, which also allows us to bet on the future. During today's meeting, we are going to talk about the reality of Benalmádena's tourism proposal and its possibilities for the future. The Spanish government is committed to tourism, continuing to be a fundamental part of our country's economy. We know the importance of the tourism sector for municipalities such as Benalmádena, and we have to ensure that our destinations continue to spearhead a quality tourist offer, recognized and recognizable not only in our outbound markets but also by the residents themselves. He also stressed that tourism is a fundamental part of our economy, vital for the growth and development of many municipalities, and highlight Costa del Sol as one of the leading exponents of holiday tourism in Spain.
La Costa del Sol
It is important to have a tourism sustainable and sensitive to major vectors that will mark its future. The Costa del Sol is a maximum exponent of the best proposal that Spain has for holiday tourism, and we are now beginning to see the economic recovery. From the government, we want to be close to the tourist destinations after such complicated months in which the sector has suffered from the restrictions to control the pandemic, efforts that have allowed this year to offer signs of having a better international tourism campaign than in 2020.
Benalmádena's Town Hall and Parques Reunidos renewed this week the agreement for the continuity of Día del Empadronado. Now there will be 2 days in which you can enjoy this promotion, which will take place on the last weekend of each month.
Día del Empadronado is back in our municipality thanks to an agreement between Benalmádena Town Hall and Parques Reunidos. Benalmádena's Mayor Victor Navas and Innoven CEO Javier Marín held a press conference on Tuesday at the table car facilities to make the announcement and highlight the appeal of this tourist attraction. Navas stressed that the agreement has a double function.
Primero, agradecer la cortesía y generosidad.
We would like to thank the courtesy and generosity of Benalmádena's cable car for allowing our citizens to enjoy for free 2 days a month one of the most emblematic tourist infrastructures of the municipality. In this way, a greater attachment is generated between the citizens of Benalmádena and its main tourist attractions, which generate employment and wealth in the town. The Día del Empadronado is a great benefit for the citizens and also an addition to the various advantages that the Town Hall offers to registered residents, which include discounts on sports activities, tax rebates, free public transport on Line 103 for pensioners, students and people with disabilities. The main novelty this season, which will run from June 26, 2021 to May 26, 2022, is that the Día del Empadronado will be extended to 2 days a month, coinciding with the last weekend of each month. Marín thanked Parques Reunidos for their hospitality and said that the promotion will take place on the last weekend of each month. He also explained the new operative, which changes the way to access the promotion that now has to be requested to Innoven. This is great news that is even more positive as it will be extended to 2 days, those that coincide with the last weekend of each month. We have changed the way we operate so that citizens can enjoy the offer. All those interested in accessing a free ticket must submit their request by sending an email to Innoven, accompanying the request with a photocopy of their ID card. If they are accompanied by minors who do not yet have an identity card, they must also provide a photocopy of the family book, also clarifying whether they want to attend on Saturday or Sunday. In response, Innoven will send them a promotional code that can be exchanged at the box office for the corresponding free tickets. Alberto Martín López, General Manager of Teleférico Benalmádena, and Eva Fortes, Manager of Innoven, were also present. Martín was very happy to be able to sign the agreement, stressing that it is a pleasure to be able to give positive news. I'm really happy to bring this news after the hard year we all have had. By signing this agreement between Leisure Parks and Benalmádena Town Hall, people registered in the municipality will be able to enjoy one of the most beautiful and emblematic tourist attractions in the municipality for free 2 days a month, as well as the facilities we have at the top of the Mount Calamorro, where you can find a magnificent restaurant and a spectacular exhibition of birds of prey.
The Third Age delegation announced last week the reopening of the Silvestre González Active Participation Center as well as the Carola Social Center. Improvement works are still being carried out on the Anica Torres Center as well as on the Los Porchas Social Center.
Third Age Councilwoman Irene Díaz and representatives from the various social and active participation centers for the elderly offered a press conference last week to announce news about the reopening of these centers. Today is a day of joy because we announced the reopening from July 1st of 2 of our centers, the Silvestre González Active Participation Center in Benalmádena Pueblo and the Carola Social Center. The Anica Torres Center is still immersed in the execution of its extension and improvement works, which will soon be restarted, and the improvement of the Los Porches Social Center has been included among the actions of the EDUCI funds in Benalmádena Costa. The councilwoman pointed out that this year there is no longer any need to register for the activities, as the registration procedures have been carried out beforehand on a member-by-member basis through telephone calls. We will gradually resume all activities. The course in the centers usually began in October, and we will do the same this year, so we are finalizing the preparations for this to be the case. The opening will be gradual. First, we will open from Monday to Friday only in the morning, complying with all health safety measures because the virus is still with us and we have to look after our elders. Díaz also announced that the Works for Health, one of the oldest and most successful activities of the Third Age delegation, will resume on July the 1st with the organization of various routes. Today we will hold an informative talk on these issues with the elderly of Benalmádena Pueblo, and on Monday 21st at 8 p.m. will be held in the Carola Social Center. The decision to open now is based on the percentage of vaccinated people, which is why we have postponed it until July 1st, because the priority is to guarantee the safety of our elderly. From September, if the evolution continues to be favorable, we will extend the opening hours.
The street cultural cycle, Cultura en la Calle, is back this summer to bring shows of every kind to our citizens. The culture area announced it last week, highlighting that admission will be free, but they will have limited capacity.
Culture Councilman Pablo Centella presented last week the new edition of Cultura en la Calle, the free cultural shows cycle that every summer invigorates the nights of our municipality, already consolidated as another of Benalmádena's great tourist attraction.
Volvemos a las calles y a las plazas.
Cultura en la Calle finally returns to its origins, although with limitations because we are still in a pandemic situation and we must continue to be strict with security measures, but this 2021 we return to the streets and emblematic corners of Benalmádena. In 2020, even with all the difficulties and limitations, we managed to maintain Cultura en la Calle, although we were forced to move to the municipal auditorium, but this year, thanks to the progress of the vaccination campaign, we will return to the streets and squares, but maintaining security measures and in perfectly fenced enclosures. This year, Cultura en la Calle will be organized around 5 stages at Castillo El Bilbil, Parque de la Paloma, Plaza Adolfo Suárez in Pueblo Sol, as well as the fairgrounds of La Paloma in Arroyo de la Miel and Los Nadales in Benalmádena Pueblo. The events will have limited seating capacity as a result of the pandemic, but admission will continue to be free, as has always characterized this summer cultural program.
Hemos programado 24.
This 2021, we have programmed 24 shows, although we have had to do without important events from previous editions due to the pandemic, such as the Stargazing Day that was so successful in previous years. Within the 24 shows, music will play a special role, and this year a rap and trap concert will be added as a novelty to meet the demand of younger audiences, as well as cinema and theater. The events will be held in July and August. Centella highlight the importance of this type of initiatives to support the local artists and consolidate our summer program as a cultural reference.
Que este es uno de los programas estrellas de nuestra delegación.
This is one of the star programs of Benalmádena's Culture Department for the summer. With 6 editions already, Cultura en la Calle has come to stay, changing the face of Benalmádena's summer. Its goal is the enjoyment of our local residents as well as becoming an important tourist attraction, because there are hardly any cities in Spain that offer this type of varied and high-quality shows, supported by local artists. A program that provides the cultural quality that Benalmádena and its tourism deserves, always with the aim of making Benalmádena a cultural reference on the Costa del Sol.
Tomorrow, June 26, citizens will be able to take off their masks on open-air spaces with no agglomerations. Restrictive measures are beginning to be relaxed thanks to the improvement on the incident rate, which is also reviving the tourism sector.
Masks will no longer be compulsory in open-air spaces from Saturday, June 26. This is the new announcement with which the leader of the government, Pedro Sánchez, surprised everyone last Friday. After this, it was made official at an extraordinary Council of Ministers held on Thursday. Although it is true that many autonomous regions were already asking for progress in this regard, experts are asking to define what is meant by free or outdoor spaces. The president of Junta de Andalucía, Juanma Moreno, spoke this Monday regarding the measure, saying that Andalucía will respect the government's decision, although he asks Madrid for flexibility so that each region can adapt the wearing of the mask to its level of incidence. He also reiterated that the Junta still believes that its withdrawal should have been delayed until August, and pointed out that they recommend to continue with its use as a preventive measure. The Andalusian region continued vaccinating the current age groups from 36 to 49 years from this week. Efforts to locate and jab the over 50s who have not yet had their first dose of a coronavirus vaccine have also been intensified. And in addition, Junta is bringing forward the second dose of the AstraZeneca formula from 12 to 10 weeks. Therefore, no new age groups will add it for the time being. The cumulative coronavirus incidence rate in the region, which continues to exceed 170 cases of COVID per 100,000 inhabitants in the last 14 days, is one of the reasons that leads the Junta's head to make this recommendation. Meanwhile, Renfe is bringing in more high-speed rail services between Malaga and Madrid, as the normally is step by step being recovered in the travel sector during the coronavirus pandemic. From June 24, the train operator added an extra 4 trains a day, 2 in each direction, to link these cities. Additionally, connections will also be improved at weekends, so that on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays, a more round-trip relationship will also be restored. With these new services, there will be 20 a day from Monday to Friday, 10 in each direction. During the weekends, the planned reinforcement will see 14 trains operating and 18 on Sundays. Tickets are already on sale, and Renfe says it will constantly study the evolution of demand, reinforcing them to the real needs of rail passengers.
And these are today's headlines. Navas meets with the Tourism State Secretary. City Hall reactivates Día del Empadronado. The social and active participation centers reopen their doors. Cultura en la Calle is back for the summer. New changes on the coronavirus restrictions. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with fairly cloudy or clear skies, with minimum temperatures unchanged and maximum rising, more marked inland, and variable light breezy winds. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.